After losing the game of chess, Mr. White curses himself for having chosen to live in a dirty, slushy, beastly place called Lover's Lane in Fulham. He says, still in a temper, Lover's Lane, Fulham, who of all the beastly, slushy, muddy, out of the way places to live in, the road, the pathway is a bog. You can't walk easily on the path because it is marshy full of wetland. It is pathway is in fact a piece of wetland, and the road is a torrent. It gets flooded. You can't walk on that. The path gets flooded. It's a torrent. To Miss White, who has risen and is at his stable, what some county council, the local council like the municipality or the corporation is doing? What's a county doing, thinking of? That's what I want to know. So he puts the blame on the local authority. He says, because this is the only house in the road, doesn't matter if nobody can get near it. I suppose no one is worried about the difficulties that we face, even if nobody comes to our place. No one is worried about it, concerned about it. Mrs. White says, oh, never, my dear. Perhaps you will win tomorrow. Now, father has lost the game. That's why he's in temper. That's why he's in a temper, bad temper. The wife knows about it. So the wife consoles him by saying that don't take it very seriously, that don't blame each and everybody. At least tomorrow you will win the game. She moves to back of table. Mr. White, perhaps I'll win, no doubt. Perhaps I'll win. What do you mean? Bursts out laughing. He can't control his laughter when his wife tells him that he might win the next day. Perhaps I will win. Perhaps I will win. What do you mean? He bursts into laughter. There, you always know what is going on inside of me. Don't you, mother? Don't you know what is going on inside me? Oh, you can read my mind very easily. Really? Mrs. White ought to, after 30 years, John. Then she says that, yeah, I ought to be able to read your mind because I have lived with you for the last 30 years. She goes to a dresser and busies herself. She goes to a dresser, busies herself wiping tumbler and tray. They he rises, goes to the fireplace and lights a pipe. Herbert down center. And it's not such a bad place, father, dad. After all, one of the few old-fashioned houses left near London. So Fulham is near London. The son tells the father that it is not such an it is not such a bad place, father. It is one of the few old-fashioned houses left near London. None of your stucco villas, home-like, I call it, and so do you do, or you wouldn't have bought it. Then the son tells the father, see, this is a nice place to live in. It is not such a bad place to live in, father. In fact, this is one of the old-fashioned houses left near London. Most of the houses are modernized except this. So we should be really proud of having such a unique house. Indeed, I know it is not stucco. None of your stucco villas. It is not like a stucco villa. Stucco exterior finish for masonry, usually of cement, sand, and hydrated lime. Now, this is not a modern house. The exterior is made of cement, sand, and hydrated lime. It is old fashioned and it looks nice. It has got its own value, so don't worry about it. It's home like. Home like here, simple, humble. It's a very nice house. And so do you, or you wouldn't have thought about it. See, even you love this house very much, otherwise, you wouldn't have bought this house. Now you are blaming this house because you have lost the game. Tomorrow, I hope you will win the game. Mr. White, growling, he shouts at the son, "Nice job I made of that too. 200 pounds owing on that." Then Mr. White gets more angry and he tells the son, "Hey, I made a good job by buying this house. You know how much money I owe? With 200 pounds owing on it, again I'm in debt. I owe 200 pounds. So it is not a wise decision. It was not a wise decision that I made when I bought this house." Herbert on back of chair. "Why, I shall work that off in no time, Dad. Matter of 3 years and the raise with the raise promised me." He consoles the father by saying that don't worry. Anyway, in 3 years' time, I'll clear your loan. I will clear that debt, and I'm promised a raise in my salary. With a raise, promise me the my salary is going to be raised. Soon I'll get more money. So with that extra money that I get, I'll clear the loan. Don't worry so much about it. Mr. White, if you don't get married, then father says, yes, you will clear the loan if you don't get married. If you get married, then you'll be taking care of just your family. You'll forget us. Herbert say, "Oh, not me. I'm not that sort of a boy. I'll love my parents. I'll take care of my parents even after I get married." Herbert, "I'm not such a boy who will forget his roots, will forget his parents." Miss White, "Oh, I wish you would, Herbert, a good steady boy you are. I wish you would continue to take care of us. I know you're a good boy." She brings the tray with a bottle of whiskey, glasses, a lemon, spoons, buns, and a knife to the table. Herbert, "Lots of time, mother. Sufficient for the day. As the saying goes, just now, my dynamos don't leave me any time for love making. Jealousy, I tell you." Then Herbert says, "Lots of time, mother. I have got lots of time, sufficient for the day. I have spent enough time with you. Now I have to go to my factory, office. As the saying goes, lots of time I have spent with you. And it is time for me to go out. Just now my dynamos are waiting for me. Dynamos, his workplace is waiting for him. And he says, my dynamos don't leave me any time for love making, merry making, enjoying myself. They are jealous, aren't they? They are jealous of me. My dynamos with which I work in the factory are jealous of me. They don't leave me. They don't leave me any time for enjoying myself. Jealousy, the dynamos are jealous, I tell you." Mr. White chuckling. Mr. White laughs here in this and he says, "I lay awake all night often and think, if Herbert took a nap and let his what do you call arms dynamos run down, and all Fulham would be in darkness." Oh Lord, what a joke. Now father tells his wife and son, "See, sometimes I wonder if Herbert, he has got night duty, he works on night shift, and if at all Herbert takes a nap sleep and let his what do you call them dynamos run down, and Fulham would be darkness. In darkness, Lord, what a joke. If my son neglects his duty by taking a nap at night, what will happen? The entire place, entire Fulham will not have electricity, will be cut off, will be left in darkness." Oh, what a joke. Everything in the city, it depends upon what my son does. If he is alert, everything will be fine. If he is careless, if he takes a nap by chance, then the entire city will be left in darkness. He goes to right center, Herbert. "Joke? And me with the sack. Oh, father, for you it is a joke. I'm carrying the sack here, the burden of the job." Pretty idea of a joke here, God. I don't think it is a joke. I don't think it is so silly. I'm doing it seriously, and that is a difficult job that I have got. At that time, a knock is heard at our door. Mrs. White, listen. Knock is repeated louder. Mr. White going towards the door. Oh, that's him. There's a Sergeant Major. Oh, we have been expecting Mr. Sergeant Major. I think he has come. He opens the door back. Herbert removes the chessboard. Wonder what yarn has got for us tonight. Herbert removes the chessboard from the table and he tells himself, I wonder what yarn story he has got for us tonight. Every day, every evening he comes home, comes to their house, and he narrates very, very funny, interesting, fascinating stories. So he says, I wonder what story he has got to tell us today. He places the chessboard on piano. Mrs. White goes up, right, busies herself putting the other armchair near a fire, etc. Don't let the door slam, John. Open it slowly because the wind is blowing fast. Mr. White opens the door a little, struggling with it because the wind is very strong. Sergeant Major Morris, a veteran, experienced with a distinct military appearance, and his left arm is missing. He lost Neva. Dressed as a commissioner, seen to enter, and Sergeant Major Morris enters. Mr. White helps him off with his coat, which he hangs up in the outer hall. Mr. White at the door. Slip in quick, please come in fast. Come in, come in. It is as much as I can do to hold it against the wind. Oh, I can't keep the door open. I can hold it against the wind. The wind is very strong. Please come in as quickly as possible. Sergeant said, oh, terrible, terrible, awful. Busy taking off his clock coat. A mile up the road, by the cemetery, it is worse enough to blow the hair off your head. Then Sergeant Major says, oh, on the way. It is very tough, it is very rough. And a mile up the road, by the cemetery, by the graveyard, it is worse. The wind is very, very bad. And it looks as if it is powerful enough to blow your hair off your head. Mr. White asks Sergeant Morris to give him his stick, the walking stick. Sergeant says, if it wasn't I knew what a welcome I would get, I wouldn't have taken the trouble of coming here, because you welcome me nicely, you treat me so nicely, that's why I have come here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken the trouble of coming here at this time. Mr. White preceding him into the room. Sergeant Major Morris, I, Miss White, see, cold you must be. Oh, please, please stop. You must be cold. Come to the fire. Do it now. Now she is telling Sergeant, since you walked in the rain, walked in the snow, you must be feeling very, very cold. So please come and sit near the fireplace. Sergeant, how are you, ma'am? To Herbert, how is your laddie, boy, lad? Not on duty yet? You haven't gone to your office? Day week, is it? Is it day shift? Oh, you haven't gone? Herbert says, oh no, sir, it is a night week, but there is half an hour yet. Oh, it is. I'm on night shift, but I got another half an hour to go, so I'm getting ready. Mr. White mixes grog for Morris. Grog is a mixture of spirit and water.